So Tanmay is going to send us all of these different parts and Sid's going to combine it. We're just going to make music here. By the way, people don't know this, but Tanmay learned some music growing up. Tanmay, what did you learn growing up?
Bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. That seemed on beat, right? I'm looking for Sid to validate me.
I think if a beatboxer did something like this, it would probably like have that oomph.
What are you saying? That I'm not good enough?
I didn't mean it like that.
How do you remove user of Zoom? It's a new week. A lot has happened in the last 10 days in AI. A lot. In fact, we're not even going to be able to squeeze everything in this episode. We're going to stretch it over 2 episodes. Varun, how's it going?
Good. We have Sid here from 100x. Sid is
Hi guys.
here to demo the first tool for us, and then we'll kick him out.
By the way, Sid, how's the cohort coming along? I heard the 100x cohort is doing like you are enjoying it.
Yeah, it's going really nice. Very good to see. I've been seeing a bunch of people talk about it over LinkedIn, over Twitter, about how they've been enjoying the cohort, how they've started out as people who have like pretty basic knowledge in programming, but then right now they're starting to build fully fledged front ends of whatever projects we've been giving them.
And they're using GPT to assist them.
So far, no, but they'll start using it this week onwards.
All right.
Interesting. So you're doing the basics first and then the AI parts.
Yeah, we're building the foundational stuff. I mean, you can use GPT from the start, but that wouldn't help you long term.
Dude, I saw these beautiful key cards that you'd made. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
So those key cards were, so we had a sorting ceremony, like you see in Harry Potter. We basically made this website where you essentially go and you put your email ID. If I'm a student, I can just put in my email ID over there. And based on a quiz that I had taken earlier, I will be assorted into one of 6 houses. And all these houses are based on, your classic OSs like Debian, Fedora, etc., etc. And it was a part of the sorting ceremony, and we represented each house with a key card.
Nice. Sweet.
The whole idea over there was learning is more fun when you do it in smaller groups.
Understood. Anyway, so the 100x cohort is going to start becoming AI assisted this week onwards. Let's get to what we are discussing in AI this week. This first clip I saw where this dude turned his voice into an instrument. Check this out. Yeah, this is pretty cool. But why does it feel like this should have existed like some time ago? No, doesn't it feel like it should just turn into a music instrument?
Yeah, now that you say it, actually does. Yeah.
Dude, but I feel like there's still skill involved. I'll tell you why. Because we tried to do a reel along these lines. Okay, I was just like, okay, let's use this tool. Let's break it down. And I did something with my lips. Okay, I was like down, whatever. I did something, and it didn't match. Because it turns out you need to know what the beat frequency is. You need
to stay on time. You need to stay on pitch. You need that little bit of musical prowess in order to get it right.
So by the way, people don't know this, but Tanmay learned some music growing up. Tanmay, what did you learn growing up?
I learned Hindustani classical vocals for about 7-8 years. I know a little bit of the tabla and I know how to play the harmonium. Okay, so I will be way more on beat than Varun is. Okay.
Awesome. So Tanmay is going to send us all of these different parts and Sid's going to combine it and we're just going to make music here.
I'm going to do this right now. Okay. Now let's do another one. bum 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 bum. That seemed on beat, right? I'm looking for Sid to validate me.
It kind of was. It kind of was.
I'm waiting for the day where you can just go into a prompt and just be like, give good music now.
By the way, this reel, what this guy did,
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of DJs now use something called vocal chops, which is literally the DJ will be like pow 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 pow, and then they'll take their sound and they'll do something to it that I'll filter so it starts sounding like a whole new instrument. Like Ritviz has said publicly that the drop in Udge ta ta da 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 is actually his voice. Like he hummed it and then he made it to sound like this weird Hindustani trumpet sort of an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
But can you now convert voice? Basically, is it now easier to do vocal chops?
It is and it isn't. It's a two-way sword over there. It is because I'll show you a tool basically. I mean the one that we just you just saw in order to convert your voice into any instrument. So the advantage is you can actually do it and it sounds pretty damn good. But if I am a musician, if I'm a music producer, and if I'm like producing a proper professional track, I still wouldn't use it for my professional track set. I would still rely on, the classic vocal chops. Like I would just record my own vocal samples and I would just slice it into multiple pieces. I would process it. I would put like insane amounts of reverb, etc., on it.
Sounds like 99.99% of AI tools so far. Which is, it's almost, it's baby, but not quite.
I would beg to differ, but I think the fair way to say it is 99% of music tools so far, because music tools aren't that great yet.
So this tool is called Musicfy.lol.
Yeah, Musicfy.lol. So essentially, there's a bunch of things you can do. Just like we did the last video where we made you sound like Shah Rukh Khan, we can basically do that as well. There's a bunch of people over here, but we're not going to go into that. What we're going to go into is turning your voice into an instrument. So how about we do this? Okay. Tanmay, just say like a simple beat and send that to me on WhatsApp. Something like tum tum ta tum ta, something like that.
Okay. Tum tum ta tum ta tum tum ta tum ta. Okay, I've sent it to you. And you're going to turn it into drums?
Yes, I'm going to turn it into drums. There's two kinds of drums over here. There's one which is basic drum set, and there's another instrument called darbuka, which is much more of a folk kind of an instrument. Let's actually try darbuka. It sounds pretty nice in this.
Oh, darbuka.
Yeah. So for reference, this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's this one. It looks like a djembe.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to select an audio file. Okay, I'm just gonna convert this.
All right.
Few more seconds of waiting for it to generate.
God, this fucking AI is so slow, man.
I know, right?
Get really fast.
Okay, something has come.
Okay, let's listen to what Tanmay first sent, just so that we have that transition moment. This is what you sent.
Tum tum tak tum tak tum tum tak tum tak. And I gotta do like a cappella or some shit. That was so good. Oh, not bad.
That was nice.
Not bad. Can you try another instrument?
Yep. Let's try the breakbeats.
What's breakbeat?
It's like a normal drum set. All right, let's go.
It's actually pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think if a beatboxer did something like this, it would probably like have that oomph.
What are you saying? That I'm not good enough?
I didn't mean it like that.
How do you remove user of Zoom? I want to see what happens if you put like this is like a percussive instrument, right? What if you put like one of the strings, like a slap bass.
Yeah.
Let's try slap bass, right?
So which instrument is slap bass?
Slap bass is where if someone's irritating you, you slap them with your bass guitar.
Nice.
It's a bass guitar and you slap it using your thumb.
Oh, interesting.
Boomer alert. Boomer.
I don't think this generation knows any of this.
No, it does.
If you use a slap bass guitar too hard, then someone comes and yells at you saying, "How can she slap?" Now I am boomer because I know this reference. All right.
On that note, slap that like button.
Oh my god.
All old, bloody old people. No, this is not.
It's not as good.
Not as good, yeah. I mean, it's probably because you didn't do it doesn't have notes. It's just, but it's kind of getting the slap sound right.
Tell me something, Sid. Like we first did the percussive instruments, right? Like we can do djembe, we can do drums. But didn't a bunch of music software already have the ability to create a 4x6 beat or a 2x4 beat? What are they called?
Absolutely. Yeah. A 4/4, 3/4, whatever.
Yeah. So that already existed.
Correct.
So why would I convert my voice into a beat? Maybe for some melody, because okay, randomly I'll think of a melody saying na 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 na, and I want to see what instrument would sound good with it. But it's like it's just a bunch of notes, right? Like the leap between me thinking of a melody and trying a bunch of instruments, it's not that hard even now.
I mean, if you know how to play the instrument, right? Like if you don't know how to play an instrument, then this is your only option. Like I don't know how to play guitar.
Melodies are made up of notes, and if you play the notes on any instrument, if you play the notes on the keyboard, you'll be able to turn the keyboard sound into another instrument sound anyway, right? If you know the notes.
Absolutely.
You need to know the notes, but you also need to know how to play the instrument. For example, all instruments are different. Like you take an ocarina, it's like you need to know how to play it, right? You need to know what finger fills what hole to.
Yeah, but if you know how to play like something basic, you'll be able to turn it into any instrument anyway. So this is great for people who don't know how to use any instruments, but have some sort of.
This is great for musically illiterate people like me.
If I was a vocalist and if all I knew is like how to sing and I don't know how to play any instrument, and let's say that I want to compose music, and I want to just create a demo track. As a vocalist, I would obviously go to a music producer. I would be like, hey, make a track for me. I want these instruments to be there and this is the vibe I'm going for. And I just want to probably show someone that, okay, this is the kind of backing that I want. This is what it probably can become. I don't see any music producer using this for their final track or masters or anything like that. That would be kind of ridiculous to actually do in order to just convert vocals into whatever instrument it is.
So this is great for people who don't know how to play any instrument, don't know how to produce music, for them to produce music. So cheers AI for helping us make more trash music from people who don't understand music.
The one time AI isn't taking your job and actually helping you, yeah.
Yeah.
6 months.
Oh my God. All right. Now Sid's going to show us how to make a full track using just your voice. This is going to be a pre-recorded segment, so enjoy this.
Okay, so I'm going to use this tool in order to create the theme song of Pirates of the Caribbean. We're going to do a very minimal version of it. So I'm going to first record a bass track, and then I'm going to record 2 melody tracks, one on the banjo and one on the violins. The number of instruments available over here in the software is pretty limited, so we're going to make the best use of whatever we can. So let's quickly record all these 3 tracks and let's put them together and see what comes out of it. All right, firstly, I'm going to record the bass track. Wum pa 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 wum pum 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 pum. Okay, let's remix this. Now I'm gonna put this bass track into Logic. Logic is a very popular music software that a lot of music producers use in order to produce tracks, mix, master, whatever you want to do with sound. Now that the jaw harp bass line is done, we're going to record the melody. So the main melody, we're going to do it on the violin first and then on the banjo. You will see the magic come together when we introduce the banjo. So let's select violin. Ting 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 ting. Right. I'm gonna remix that. Right, I'm going to record violin, one more backup track just in case, in a different modulation. I said ting ting. I want to try the same thing with ying 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 because that's how violin usually sounds. Ying 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 ying. Now I'm also going to increase the pitch of the violin to the higher octave so that we have a little bit of a wider effect. Awesome. Now finally, let's record the last melody layer on the banjo. Ting 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 ting. I want to add one more element. I want to add some horns to it, which is some brass. So I'm gonna do this as well. Let's see how it sounds. If it sounds good, I'm gonna keep it. If it doesn't sound good, I'm gonna throw it off. Bow, 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 bow. I'm gonna add a harmony layer to it as well. Bow, 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 bow. All right, let's see how it comes together. Right, so I'm going to go back into Logic and I'm going to import all the tracks that we just made, which is these tracks. Okay, let's get rid of the ones that we don't want. Jaw harp, we need that. This violin, let's keep it mute for now. Violin 1 and violin high. Let's call this violin and let's call this violin high. Let's call this banjo and let's call this brass and brass harmony. Awesome. Let's align everything together over here now. And finally, when you put all those layers together, this is how it sounds. And all of these are literally just my voice. There's not a single instrument that we used. If you want to watch a detailed tutorial on this tool, Musicfy, and explore its other capabilities like voice conversions into other people's voices or more voice to instrument explorations. If you want to watch that, head over to 100x Engineers. There'll be a link in the description and you can click on that link and watch that video.
All right, Sid, what's next?
What's next is an augmentation of what's been there for a while. GPT came up with this new add-on called GPT Vision, which kind of blew my mind. It is essentially, think of GPT Vision as GPT plus image. So you can import images into GPT and you can make GPT interact with those images in multiple ways. So I'll show you a bunch of things that is actually possible with GPT Vision. So here you can see this image button now, which did not really exist earlier. So one really cool thing that I really liked about it is I can basically give it an image of, let's say, some biological thing like
biological. Just search for biological diagram testes.
Testes.
Are you allowed to put that on screen?
I mean, it's a biological diagram.
Fair. Okay, let's go with this.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'm 12 years old. Explain this to me. Hey, and when GPT replies, can you reply to it saying that sounds like balls?
Okay, that was nice. That was good.
This is probably doing OCR, pulling out the text. I mean, because the text is already kind of, I mean, the image is already kind of labeled. This would be a little bit
Yeah.
cheating in a way. Can you give it images without text?
No, but I'll show you something really cool after this.
Okay.
Okay, got it. It's able to understand
Explain.
a diagram. It's able to read the text. But
Correct.
this doesn't seem like that large a leap because there have been previous like technology that is
Bard has
lets you-
done this.
Bard has done this.
Now I'm basically going to get something like maths problem.
Do 10th standard board exam question India mathematics. We're looking for some random paper. Pick it up. Copy paste this into GPT Vision. Like copy paste the second question into GPT Vision. Let's just say. I mean, cut it. Yeah.
Let's copy 3 questions.
First 3. Just dump it into GPT Vision. Don't give it any context. Just throw it in.
Don't
tell
I
it
can't.
anything.
I have to write something, otherwise the button won't pop up.
Oh, just say put question mark. 1 question mark. Okay, so we've just put in a board paper, a 10th standard board paper, first 3 questions, just clipped it and thrown it in. It's not copy paste, it's just thrown in.
Okay. It's given us the first answer.
Bye homework.
Yeah, so it can read text of an image. What else can it do, Sid?
Do you guys see the Mark Zuckerberg announcement?
Yeah.
Now they have these glasses where you can just wear the glasses all throughout and it'll have some version of, a vision model on it. To me, it just seems like, I would like your thoughts on this. To me, it just seems like exams are useless now. Like it's just going to carry, or eventually you'll have lenses or whatever. Like what is the purpose of even ever doing an exam where you can be able to summon sort of all of humanity's knowledge just by looking at a thing? Like, because Mark Zuckerberg in his demo said, well, you have a pipe in front of you, you don't know how to fix it. It'll tell you exactly how to fix it. You have an IKEA table in front of you, you don't need the instruction set. The thing will look at it and be like, hey, do this first, then do this, then do this. What is the purpose of an exam in a world like this?
It is to make your parents proud. But yeah, now it's like exams are solved.
Teachers are going to be very, very, very annoyed.
Exams have to change in a way, right? Like, Tanmay, let's say you're a kid, okay? Let's say you're 18 years old, let's say you're 16 years old again, and you're writing an exam, or you're doing an assignment, and you know this tool here exists, and you're just like, I'm just waiting for it to enter, one of these glasses that Meta has already announced. How do you feel? How are you supposed to feel as a kid writing a useless exam?
Yeah, I think exams are solved now. As soon as Facebook X Ray-Ban becomes cheap enough, that the glasses act as your eye, and Meta AI or GPT will act as your brain, and anything you see will just get solved instantaneously. So that is done for. My larger worry is, what does this do for learning or just basic functioning of making your brain do an exercise of solving something? That's what makes you learn anything, right? Which is actually sitting and solving something. What happens to that? Now there's no need to do that.
I would say maybe we will have rules. I'm making a hypothetical statement here, but I think there will be rules where you can't use an AI till you're 18 or something because your brain is still developing, and this is going to make you cognitively lazy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make people cognitively.
Like I've stopped writing. Like I write, I still write, but compared to how much I used to write 3 years ago, I don't write anywhere close to that much. I've heard this from many other founders, by the way. It's like, here are 3 bullet points, expand this into a note that I can send to my company. But I don't think it is wise for me to have started doing that when I was like 13 or 14. It's like,
yeah. The thing is, there's this Naval tweet which said that today's problems are not like yesterday's problems. Yesterday's, which means many years ago, were problems of scarcity, which is that, there's not enough food, water, there's not enough medicine, There's not enough sugar. There's not. People used to literally get their dopamine by doing rudimentary games, and today's is the opposite, which is the problem of abundance, which is there's too much sugar, there's too much porn, there's too much addiction to everything else. So we're going to see Darwinian results, which is the folks who learn to exercise discipline will be able to resist sugar, resist porn, resist dopamine. So similarly, there is cognitive abundance now, which is everything is solved for. You don't need your brain to really do much. So
I actually disagree. I think that you will be more disciplined with AI because you know what? So a lot of young kids want mentors. Okay, they'll go out on the internet. They'll be like, "I want to mentor this, that." And I saw a tweet. I think it was by Sidhu Ponappa, where he was like, "It's most people looking for mentors are actually just looking for somebody to tell them what to do on a daily basis. So if you have this god tier AI sitting in your glasses or your phone or wherever or something that you're wearing, and it just tells you, do this, get up at this time, do this. It's just like you are putting the faculty of your life into somebody else's hands and they're just running it for you.
Correct.
I think more
There's
people
no
will be disciplined.
accountability over there.
No, the AI is accountable. The AI is telling you do this at this time, 6 a.m. alarm, get up, Varun, go to the gym.
But Varun, the drive to do it still needs to exist. The drive to actually want to pursue something with the guidance of a mentor.
I think you're all underestimating the fact that eventually we'll start trusting these AIs more and we'll just look at it as a coach / mentor figure. Like Olympic athletes, right? The coach is like the one pushing them. And eventually as a function, you get into a routine. You've done it like 30 times because the AI has told you. You become more disciplined as this thing. Now, I could be wrong, right? This could play out differently.
Yeah. So the folks who are driven will now be assisted such that they'll be more driven and or they'll really outperform. But the folks who aren't driven, it's not going to solve anything. That's what I said by things are getting more and more Darwinian because the tools for people who are driven always existed.
And this is getting superb.
It's just gotten really good now. All right.
I'd like to show one more thing, which was what's your favorite chicken dish, Tanmay?
Chicken lababdar.
Chicken labab.
I don't know. I just like saying lababdar.
Okay, let's see if GPT can actually identify
recognize
this.
it. Okay.
So we're gonna take a picture of this, and probably looks like butter chicken, honestly.
Yeah, I would be shocked if GPT knows this is chicken labab.
I would be shocked as
Ask
well.
for recipe also.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking.
I would love for GPT to say lababdar.
Give me recipe. From Tenjinor.
It looks like a delicious dish.
Can you just ask what dish is it?
It says meat curry. Okay, it took the safe way. Yeah. It took the safe way out.
Search for something else. So can you search for poha? Let's see. What is the name of this dish in India? Because poha, it'll say like soft rice or...
I think the Ray-Ban glasses are going to be superb. Like I'm going to buy it because it just seems like when you're cooking, you can just tell it, okay, just give me the recipe for this. Or you look at something like, where do I add this particular ingredient in?
Wow, it recognized poha, bro.
It did, yeah.
Okay, now search for lemon rice. And let's see if it distinguishes between poha and lemon rice. Dude, that looks exactly like fucking poha. Okay, let's see if it recognizes lemon rice. Oh, the GPT cursor has turned into a thing. Wow, it understood lemon rice.
Dude, this is like, 6 months ago, by the way, I had made some reel about vision models or whatever. Some guy was like, I still can't differentiate between a dog and a cat. Look at it now.
Poha and lemon rice.
Poha and lemon rice. It's like, I would get confused, by the way.
Fuck, this makes me hungry.
No, but this is really good. These vision models, like you start putting them in robots, they'll be able to go to your fridge. You'll be able to identify where the handle is. It'll be able to do all that fun stuff.
I'll show you one last thing with vision. This is what really blew my mind. If I take a screenshot of, let's say, these two things, which is the follow and the message button, and then I just paste this over here and say, write HTML and CSS code for me. It actually does it. And I can put this back into Replit or whatever my coding environment is, and I can get the exact same buttons.
So wait, I can now take a screenshot of any app on my phone, then open GPT, input that and say, write me the code for this.
Yes, and it will just give you the code.
It'll build you the front end.
Yeah.
Back end, what goes on behind the scenes, it's like, depends. It's app to app.
Yeah. There you need to know what you're doing. Here you can basically prompt it.
Hey, go to the 100x Engineers website for a second. There, yeah. Okay. Zoom out. So this is the 100x Engineers website. Take a screenshot of this entire thing. Put it on a GPT and ask it for code.
If you actually give it larger chunks, you'll have to go through a debugging round and all that.
Try. Just try. Let's see. It can't generate images yet, right? I mean, it
No.
doesn't have DALL-E yet.
I mean, it'll give you the tags. It'll give you the IMG tag, but you'll have to put the link yourself.
Go down. Is it actually generating?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Why did you ask him to do this?
No, just to see if you can dump an entire website in. He dumped 2 buttons in. I was just saying, can you dump the entire website in?
What does this mean, Varun?
No, this means that, landing pages, see, it's not generating the entire landing page. If you see inside the navigation, there's supposed to be links. There's no links inside the navigation. It's just giving you empty space to fill it in. But can it make your work easier? Absolutely. You like a website, it's just like, you can screenshot it.
Screenshot it.
You can get some starting point. But, this is today, right? Like 6 months later, a year later, it's going to get better.
Yeah, I think it's getting all the colors and all right. There's all the sections over here. The content is also here. It's just given out. It's given us the framework. We have to fill it in with the details. Yeah, it's also mentioned that this is not really a complete thing. So what I've seen is when you usually give like larger websites, things are like here and there sometimes, and you have to make a little tweaks. So
I think someone will train a specific model on this.
yeah, very possible. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sid. Thanks for jumping on and good luck with the cohort. Bye.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
See you, dude.
Tanmay, I have a question for you. So Meta came up with the Ray-Ban glasses, right?
Yeah.
And obviously that has a camera so it can look at things and it can answer questions for you and all that fun stuff. It's going to be working with you with voice. But what do you think is the ideal form factor to carry an AI on you?
I mean, chip in brain is the best, the most efficient. But yeah, probably right now phone. A phone has a mic, a camera. It can speak for you. It can listen for you. It can see for you.
But it's inconvenient to hold a phone. Like I think, especially if you want it to take audio feedback from you, you'll have to bring the phone here. And holding the phone is a pain. So one person on the internet recently, actually multiple people at the same time. So this is this thing. It's called Rewind Pendant. It's a wearable that captures what you say and hear in the real world and then transcribes, encrypts and stores it locally on your phone. And then you can query it.
This is insane.
It is wild. And if you see the website, Sam Altman's there, Alexis Ohanian is there, Mark Andreessen is there. They're all like, this is amazing. So you're just talking. You're like, oh, what meeting did I have yesterday? 5 p.m. yesterday, what did I discuss? What's my task list for today? And it knows everything because it's capturing everything you say.
This is both useful for some folks and not that good for others. Probably because if it's recording you, it's recording everybody else as well, right? Which is a breach of privacy. In fact, I saw something which I don't know if it was like a parody or a fake one, but someone tweeted out the anti-rewind pendant, which is another pendant that prevents your voice from being recorded on another device. Because if you just have a device that everyone's recording all the time, then when the fuck do I have alone time? When do I discuss my herpes issue that I want no one to know about?
Dude, I think I have a weird perspective on this, okay? When phones came out, people said phones need not, you can't record somebody else with your phone. Like you can't take a video of somebody else with your phone on the street and whatnot, right?
That time is gone.
Countries have rules around this. But what are you going to do if somebody records you in public? Like, what is your legal recourse? Do you sue? You can't sue. It's like, it is meaningless to sue because it takes 10 years to settle anything in India. So what are you going to do? So people can just record you and you can't do anything about it. So with the rewind pendant, okay, somebody else captures your voice while they're around you, whatever, you don't know they're wearing the pendant. The problem is you can't do anything about it. Okay. So I think it's just a world where you should just assume every word, every statement you say is anyway going to be recorded. Like I've made my peace with it. Right. And the way you counter it is radical honesty, radical transparency. Obviously, 10 years ago, people were not radically transparent. Now they'll have to have a new framework. I don't think, if you have a herpes issue, you should just be public about the herpes issue. That's what I think the world is
Just to
heading
clarify, I don't have a herpes issue.
No, I'm just
Because
saying.
Varun is saying it so seriously, making it seem like it's real. I don't know, man. Like, you're right. Everyone will have to be careful all the time. It's the assume everything you text on your phone to be screenshotted, but applied to IRL now. Everything you say is being recorded at some point. How much is the pendant for?
It's $59.
$59, that's it.
That's what the reservation cost is. There's one more called Tab, which is $600. I don't know if this $59 is the reservation cost or like the entire cost, but I don't think it's going to be more than 10,000-20,000 rupees. Yeah, and I think it's worth it if you think that, it will help you have perfect recall. Like technically it gives you perfect memory.
I imagine people wearing it when they go to a conference, when they're taking meetings in person.
It's a professional thing. And I think it's like a Black Mirror thing where you probably enter a meeting room and there will be rules around this, like at least informal rules around this, which is that, hey guys, we're going to start the meeting, and then you press a button and everyone's rewind pendants activate.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all like, okay, meeting's in session now. Now you start talking. Because Zoom calls, like, believe it or not, these days, like all important Zoom calls we record. Because it's just like, we'll forget this later, right? Especially when you deal with a lot of stuff. So I think we are entering a world where we are post-privacy. And I think anyone who's like really gung-ho on privacy is going to just be disappointed. I think it's like happiness about expectations minus reality, right? And I think if you keep your expectations low, that fine, everything is going to be recorded. I think it's fine. You know who's been facing this for a while? All the creators. They have to be very careful about every word they say on social media because their name drives clicks, right? So a creator will not text another creator anything or text another human anything which they think will eventually make it up to social media. So everything, like I would say, if I had to choose between which of the set of people in the world are actually the most saintly, at least in India, among the people I know, because I know founders, creators, normal people, except like I know a bunch of people, right? Diversity is there. Creators are the most scared.
I mean, the counter to this is why you saying something that you would be so afraid it would be made public. It's always contextual, right?
Yeah, I mean, people know they will clip. Like, it's almost like I know a creator who will not send multi-line messages. Okay, and I was like, he's like, wait, he'll delete 4 messages, then he'll send the entire block. I was just generally asked him in person, why are you sending the entire block? What, like, just text normally, bro. He's like, no, but some people will screenshot that particular line and put it on Twitter, and then I get into trouble. So it's like these people are so scared that actually if I had to bet my money on who's the most saintly, like who is actually not doing anything wrong in life, it would be them. But also, in a way, it dilutes your personality, right? Because you can't say or do anything that more than 10% of the world disagrees with.
So on the one hand, there'll be rise of people attacking people because now so much more information is constantly public. And on the other hand, I think there'll also be some normalization of, at one point it was a crime to cuss. And then people cuss so much that it became the new normal. So I think there'll be just more acceptance of, hey, people are...
These are human beings.
These are human beings, and sometimes human beings have, you don't know what their motivations for all their actions is, etc., etc., etc. So there'll be a bit of both, but the new normal will be constant recording, much like the new normal now is anyone can be filmed anywhere, anytime. Now it is anyone will be recorded anywhere, anytime.
And you just get used to it. Don't say anything that...
And just like because of the rise of tech and connectivity, there are now no Wi-Fi hotels, right? These are designed for the anti-tech experience. So you'll also have those kind of informal rules, like you said. And there'll be this, I think there'll also be the anti-tech tech, which is, for every virus that's made, there's an antivirus. So it's kind of like that, which is, okay, how do you still continue to maintain some sort of sanity? And there'll be tech for that.
Yeah, because people will lose their minds being as much straitjacketed as possible, right? If you can't say anything, if you can't text anything...
any personality of your own, dude.
You can't have any personality. Anything that's different from the masses, you're done. Like, people will take that one screenshot, put it out, whatever.
Imagine your whole life, right? Like, you were born, you had a certain set of parents, your brother, your sister, your friends, your growing up, your environment, the schooling you went to, the experiences you had as a child, all of which results in you being your personality, which means that some things trigger you more than the others, some things you have an affinity towards. All of that gets nullified if every moment of yours is being monitored and carefully analyzed from that lens.
You have to be as average as you possibly can. Like, you have to be perfectly average in a way.
Yeah. So it's just like, what's the fucking point of just living your whole life if you can't be the product of living your whole life?
No, but I think people will get frustrated. Like if you watch the movie Purge, you've seen Purge?
I haven't.
Purge is like basically everyone's like, okay, we're normal for like 365 days a year, but one day of the year at 12 a.m., all crime is allowed, right? Go murder anyone you want, do anything. 12, those 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever, however long, it's called the Purge. You can do whatever you want. So I feel like people eventually get frustrated and just be like, I want one day in my life where I can just go to some place and
I
smash
just want to
stuff.
say whatever I want to whoever
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, fun times, interesting times, not fun, interesting times.
Tanmay, I wanted to watch this video. Chatgpt, we already saw GPT Vision, but now Chatgpt can also hear and speak.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a video on Twitter where it demoed some guy who clicks a picture of a bike. Let's see that. That's pretty crazy.
I think it killed a bunch of meditation apps. Because now if you want somebody to tell you a story, or if you want somebody to tell you, like, sing you a lullaby or help you meditate and stuff like that, you now have a partner that can do that.
Why do you think it's going to kill meditation apps?
Because you can now speak as well. You can now hear and speak. So you can actually, I mean, at least I saw a video of it where you can tell it, you know, I'm really stressed at work today. Can you tell me like 5 reasons why I shouldn't be stressed? Here's the specific context. And it can, like, you know, numb you in a way. You remember, like, a lot of people in India were talking about the hypnosis apps. By the way, I thought, just so you know, I thought hypnosis was woo. I thought it was a scam, right? But then I started speaking to people and a lot of them were like, hey, I got hypnotized. And then I went and Googled it, and apparently hypnosis is an actual thing. There are papers on it, right? So I feel like at the end of the day, hypnosis is just somebody talking to you. Okay. So I feel like a ChatGPT can potentially do that to you if it has voice. It can be your buddy. It can solve loneliness. A lot of VCs now are like, loneliness is the biggest damn, right? Like everyone wants some solution to loneliness. So I feel like it's there. Why would you need a headspace now when you can directly talk to a GPT and it can, you know, whatever, sing you a lullaby or whatever.
What's next now? Wearables for OpenAI?
See, technically GPT can now, with GPT Vision, it can now look at pictures. It can now look at your drawings. You can communicate with it through written text. You can communicate with it through drawings. It can hear, so you can talk to it. It can also draw. Technically, DALL-E is GPT's ability to draw. And by the way, the cool thing about DALL-E 3 is you don't actually have to prompt it anymore. Like, they removed the idea of prompting. Now you can just talk to it like a human being. You can just be like, I want this image. So the interface now is just ChatGPT. So it can draw with DALL-E. In my opinion, that's like kind of most of what we as humans do, no?
Pretty much.
At least digitally, right? We are texting on a computer or texting on the phone. You're probably drawing on the phone. Like all the interface formats have been mapped.
Now it's time for GPT to have, GPT Day, much like Apple, where once a year they come out and they're like, here are the 5 new
jobs that we are removing.
Here are the 5 industries we are disrupting. I'm now starting to see the, $10 billion, $20 billion valuations now, because slowly, I mean, I feel like next is wearables, right? Like at some point, in fact, Pendant that we mentioned, in fact, Rewind Pendant is already, like, Sam is an investor in it. And a bunch of these are going to start coming, right? Which is GPT powered. Like, okay, I need a glucose monitor. I need a sleep tracker. Like if I have a sleep tracker, I need a pair of headphones.
By
or
the way, remember
earphones.
we did this. We did this like 6 months ago where I took the ultra-human glucose data. I mean, that's not the ultra-human data. It's the Abbott data, Abbott sensor data. I dumped it into GPT and I was just like, give me insights. And it did a good job.
Yeah.
So you can synthesize all data formats into it. GPT is the greatest ability that I am really impressed by is the ability to convert any format of data into any other format.
Yeah.
You can convert unstructured to structured data and vice versa. I think that's fantastic because now you are a connected human. Any data source you have can be pulled in environmentally, internally, etc. But also if you think about it, right, every app, every industry technically, at least digital industries, are some combination of writing, drawing, texting, hearing, listening. Like take edtech, for example, right? Education in general. Ultimately, an app, let's say like Byju's, you are watching some content. That content has been pre-recorded. It's been pre-generated. You're watching it. You're gaining something out of it. Then it's testing you, right? Like you're probably answering some questions or whatever. GPT can do that, right? Especially the easier the content, if it's not like deep tech or whatever, if it's not something that content that came out very recently and it has a knowledge cutoff issue. If it's like 10 standard science, for example, I think it can do a better job than most education apps.
Yeah.
And you can have your favorite person teach you. You can have Shahrukh. You can be like, GPT, take the form of Shahrukh and teach me.
Yeah, and it's not just going to be GPT, right? Like now the differentiation between products will be the what is the LLM at the back end. Different countries will need to start having regulations. How much data is going to GPT? Which data is your population? Is their data going to GPT? Dude,
And
this
GPT is
like-
the super app in a way, right? Like what I'm saying is you have multiple different apps in multiple different industries. Someone will just be like, why do I have 10 apps on my phone? I have this one app, doubles up in my meditation app, it doubles up in my teacher. We are summoning God in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's like one person that can answer things for you, but also produce things for you. I think there is a dystopian version of the world where we don't have anything to do online, but I also think there could be a utopian version. Maybe we don't have to do anything. Like why even stuff humans into jobs and any of that? Like the modern institution, like 300 years old. Modern concept of money is the modern banking system is 150 years old. So all very new.
Correct.
What if we just had utopia where you can do whatever you want? It's possible.
Like, share, subscribe. All right, what's next?
Okay, let's come to content creation. Okay, let's do the end of content creation one. Have you seen this reel?
Where the first round of interview is a culture round where we see if they fit with us, if they align with our values. And the second round is the technical round where we actually look into their skills. We put the culture round first because we want to know if we align so that we're not wasting their time or our time.
What do you think?
It has gotten really good. Can you tell me the process of how you made this?
So the video's on HeyGen. The audio is our own custom stack of Koki plus RVC. So it's like a double pass audio.
Got it.
I'll tell you the cool part.
Hmm.
I put up another reel after this. I was just demoing. I was telling the world that, hey, I think we are almost here. So I put up another reel about the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Like 3 people in the comments said this reel is AI generated. Everyone else was talking about the Ray-Ban glasses. It's like people can't tell. Like the average person can't tell.
And this is all, and anyone can do this from
Anyone
just a
can do
laptop and this thing now?
Anyone can do this. HeyGen is like, the video part is very cheap. I think it's like $20, $30, $40, something like that. The audio part is open source. It's 2 passes right now. We are using our own set, but it's going to be 1 click. Someone's going to make a 1-click version of this.
It's gotten much better. Lip to text matching has gotten much better. Speech modulation has gotten much better. I'd say, yeah, it's gotten at least 50% better than the last time we saw something like this. But can you play a reel of you that's not AI generated?
Okay. So
Let's
I'm going
see
to
the
show 2
difference.
reels. Okay. I'm going to show 2 reels. You tell me which is AI generated, which is not AI generated. And by the way, just a clue, most of the recent ones are AI generated. Okay. So let's go to Shorts. Let's play this reel.
Meta and Ray-Ban have just launched smart glasses with built-in AI, making sci-fi your new everyday life. That we will soon live in a world where you can interact hands-free wherever you go is simply insane. Now, OpenAI has already powered ChatGPT with the ability to speak, hear, and see, but these smart glasses are about...
Yeah, show the other reel.
So this is one.
Yeah, so this one is definitely AI generated. Let's look at one which is not AI generated.
Okay.
ChatGPT might have just killed your favorite meditation, storytelling, and fitness apps. Why? Because it can now speak, hear, and even understand images. Check out the video above.
This is also AI generated.
Let's play one last.
AI has just released DALL-E 3 for free and it's available to everyone through Bing Chat. To access it, simply visit bing.
Yeah, this is real. This is not AI generated.
Got it. You're right.
Yeah. So you can still make out the difference, but it's getting harder. It's getting harder to distinguish between
You know what my yardstick is? My yardstick is comments. How many comments say this is AI generated? Now, I'll tell you what. Every video I do, there'll be 5 comments saying this is AI generated because people are just so confused. Like if you look at this, which one? Yeah, this one. Okay, I'll just show you the comments. It's interesting. Okay. Someone's talking about the only thing left right now is to build an Iron Man suit. They're talking about the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Okay, so some people are like, Varun has turned into an AI now. That's 8 comments. But the rest are talking about the glasses. Google laughing in the corner. No one will talk to the glasses. After this, I assure you, something glasses also exist. Get those glasses and reprogram. They're talking about the content. Typically, if you put an AI-generated reel, people will talk about this reel is AI-generated. Don't try to trick us or whatever. And even on regular videos, some people will be like, hey, this is AI generated. So it's like my audience, which has been attuned to like, let's seek out if this video is AI generated or not, is having a hard time. And I don't see 6 months later if this is going to be like a challenge. And you know how much time it saves? It's like, I don't have to be there. Like, I don't have to do anything. It's like 0 time, right? The only thing is you have to trust your team to be able to put out and research good content. But the way I do it is I find something interesting and like I'm sitting on GitHub repos. So I'm able to spend more time there. So higher quality content in a way.
That is nuts.
So Tanmay, if you go to the average 18 to 20-year-old in India, do you know what one of their interests is? Like at least what they watch on TV or on the computer or whatever. It's anime. Yeah. So anime is like taken India by storm, right? It originated in Japan and now like every Indian has watched, at least every young Indian watched some anime. So one of the dreams that I've had growing up is I've always wanted to make my own anime. And I went once and Googled the cost and it was like, it's crazy, okay? Because you have to draw every frame. But you know what? Generative AI to the rescue. There is now a new repository called Re-Render a Video. Okay. So this, you can use Stable Diffusion, you can use Control Net. Remember once you told me, Varun, why can't we use Control Net for every frame? And this does it. The only problem with that is every frame is going to look different from the previous frame. So there's now a new repository called Re-Render a Video. And it allows you to basically do what you told me that day. But frame by frame, it's able to make sure that both the shape is like consistent and so are the pixels and colors. So they managed to add some rudimentary sort of, consistency between frames. And we used it. So it took us some time to set up, but we used it to generate an anime. Want to see results?
Yeah, let's check it out.
So this is the original video. Actually, yeah, let's just play it. So we used 2 different Stable Diffusion models.
Oh, that's awesome. How did you make yourself older?
Yeah, so those are 2 different models. So the one on the left is more of a modern anime model. The one on the right is trained on, Death Note and slightly older anime. So it looks slightly more, I would say, grungy.
Now anyone can just put up a green screen at home, get GPT to write a killer, like a sequel to an existing anime or write their own script and then just act it out. All you need to do is basically cast appropriate looking people. And if you just read it, you can just do the whole thing.
So you can do one more thing, okay? There's an app on the iPhone called Camtrack AR. It's a free app. So you can use Camtrack AR. You need an iPhone 14 and above. So you have LiDAR, right? You can map out your room. And then as you move the camera, you have this digital camera that moves around that you can import into any 3D software. So what you can do is not only can you record this person and convert you into anime, you can take the background and put yourself into any background and the camera will match your movement. And you can convert that into anime as well. So you can also have the whole set. So you can shoot in front of a green screen, but you have the entire set, you have the entire output. I think the biggest opportunity right now is go take all the Indian classics and convert them into one anime episode each. I think that's huge traffic and a lot of young people will watch it. So here's a scene from Dhoom.
Yeah, let's check it out. That's pretty cool. All right. Another week in AI, a bunch of new tools. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, drop us a like. A majority of the people who watch us aren't subscribing, so make sure you subscribe and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.